Hello my friends and welcome back to another Brotato Danger 5 random run, where we take a random character, random weapon, and try to beat Danger 5 with it. We are currently sitting at 52 wins out of the 62 characters, and I've won 52 in a row with random weapons. Since we only have 10 characters remaining, rather than make you guys watch while I re-roll over and over till we get one that we haven't played yet, we're just going to do the last 10 in order. We're going to start with the Old. This is actually, I think, a much more difficult run than it looks like at first, because the Old, in my opinion, is the character that has the single largest increase in difficulty between Crash Zone and Abyssal Terrors. The minus 10% enemies matter a lot more on this map because you're playing on lower economy, so the Old generally just has less money. And the lower map size is much more difficult because there's a lot more projectiles on the field, and the elites have harder to dodge patterns, so the Old having less room to maneuver actually matters a lot more on this map than it does on the original map. Random weapons makes that more difficult as well, because usually what you want to do with the Old is kill the elites before you have to dodge them. So we're going to roll here and see what weapon we get, and then we'll plan accordingly. We've got the Chopper. Alright, I'm not happy with this. This is a very low damage weapon, but it does give us a lot of healing. So if we can get like a garden or enough consumables or enough luck that we can just heal up with our choppers, then we should be okay. We also scale our damage off of our max HP, which definitely gives us a slight advantage. We get the extra harvesting from the Old, and of course when you start with harvesting, we want to roll to hit 21 harvesting as soon as we can. So I'm going to roll at least twice and probably 3 times looking for more harvesting. Here, we're going to take the Chopper. I'm going to lock the propeller hat. Helmet is maybe worth locking as well, but I think we'll pass on that for now. I'd like to find a stronger economy item if possible. Alien Tongue is pretty nice with Chopper, but even so, we're still going to roll past it and look for more efficient economy items, and then we're going to keep rolling. Again, I'm going to pass on locking the helmet. We managed to find 4 Choppers, which is pretty nice. Chopper has the Little Scene Blade tag, which gives you melee damage and lifesteal, which is pretty useless for this weapon, because the melee damage only scales at 50%, and the lifesteal is not very good on a melee weapon that gives you a lot of healing through the consumable healing anyways. So, Chopper is a really funny weapon, because its tag does almost nothing to improve it. But if you buy maximum HP, you get a lot of damage, and of course most characters want to do that anyways. Let's roll here. We're looking for harvesting. I'll keep rolling. I will just take 5 luck here, though, because I just want increases to our economy early. When we're playing with fewer enemies on the field, we really need to boost our economy. 5 luck immediately paying off. Obviously, it only very slightly increases the chances of this happening, but I'm gonna take credit for getting the +8 harvesting upgrade here. Brilliant decision making by me to roll for that luck. And then, of course, coffee we want, and we can pick up another Chopper. Now we've got our weapon set fully online, so we've got the full blade weapon tag. It does increase the base damage of our choppers slightly, but of course we want to boost that with max HP more. Very happy to have gotten that +8 harvesting upgrade, and the 5 luck early as well. Of course we want lots of luck on this character, since our healing is mostly going to be consumable healing, since the choppers give us that for free. Every level we get is also really valuable, because this character... Oh, is there any chance we can kill this loot alien? No. Because Chopper's a low damage weapon, and it spawned on the other side of the map from us, even the small map, I was not going to be able to kill it, unfortunately. It also reversed direction. Maybe if I'd gotten those last couple hits on it, we'd have gotten it, but... unfortunately, just shy of killing that loot alien. Really interesting to get a curse alien spawn on wave 3 as well, despite the decreased enemy spawns. Here I'm just going to take 5 more luck, and then we will buy the coffee and propeller hat. Penguin, I will pick up as well. We're going to need as much regeneration as we can get before we have to fight an elite, and then we're going to roll here and lock a Chopper. Small magazine is kind of interesting also. Any attack speed buff is really good for this character, but I think we're going to pass on it. We really need to focus on efficient economy and defensive items early for this build. We're never going to kill an elite with this weapon. It's just such a low damage weapon. So which is very bad for the old. Typically on this character, you want to kill the elites before you have to try to dodge them, because you have very little room to maneuver. So for this build, we're going to be stuck trying to dodge around the elites. Wow, a third curse alien as well. We got really lucky on those spawns. If we had a better weapon, we'd have been able to kill a lot of curse and loot aliens. I'm going to take the luck here and then 5 more harvesting. Again, we're just building our economy stats early. Upgrade the chopper, and we do get additional HP scaling off of that, so that's pretty nice. Let me reroll here. Baby Gecko we definitely don't need on this character because the map is so small, we're not going to leave materials on the ground anyways. We also are pretty incentivized to build pickup radius, and you don't need both Baby Gecko and pickup radius on most builds. Definitely upgrading our chopper, taking Corrupted Shard. Cute Monkey is a nice way to heal as well. That although we have a lot of healing from our consumables, the Cute Monkey will just help keep us at high HP. So this, I think, actually could be a piggy bank run. Because we're pretty strong early, I think we can afford to save up the next couple waves and get our piggy bank going, and that will solve the economy issues that this character has. So I think we're gonna lock piggy bank because we got it pretty early, and we're gonna see if we can make it work. Claw Tree, I don't want because it reduces my max HP, but let me reroll here and see if I can lock another chopper. I can't, but I'll lock a plant. So my plan here is that our damage is fine. We've got decent healing just because we've got these choppers. So we're going to just buy the piggy bank and nothing else next wave, and then probably the wave after as well. And we're going to try to make piggy bank our main economy source for this run. Usually I don't like to rely heavily on piggy bank, but this character kind of needs something to give it a boost. And because the old starts with harvesting, and we found that early harvesting, we're reasonably strong early and can afford to invest in economy, even if it costs us wave clear, because we've got a decent amount of economy already. So we're going to be making money even if we're giving up some enemy kills, because we're not making our character stronger, because we're buying piggy bank and just saving the money off of it. I'm going to take the small magazine here. I definitely need more attack speed, and even at the cost of % damage, that's good. And then we will take 10 more harvesting. That's awesome. We'll buy the piggy bank, lock the penguin. I will do one reroll here to see if I can lock another chopper, but I'm not going to buy it. And we are just going to go straight into the next wave. This is only like 16 materials off the piggy bank this wave, but we need to get to 500 or so banked materials as quickly as possible in order to make this piggy bank valuable. And so we just need to save all of our money immediately. I do like the way that the piggy bank gives you the little pig nose. I think that's very funny. One reason that we can get away with this too is that chopper scales off of our HP, so the damage of our weapons is actually going to be increasing, even if we're not buying damage stats, because we're just going to be leveling up and gaining additional health. Oh, wow, okay. A Cursed Crown on Wave 6. That is unbelievable. An additional 10% on our harvesting, so that's going to just skyrocket our harvesting. I'll take the 3 HP here, and then here we're just, or 3 regen, and here we're just going to take 6 max HP. It scales my weapon damage. And I no longer need this piggy bank to do as much as I did before, because we now have the Cursed Crown, which will just give us all the economy we need. But I think I am still going to go at least one more wave without spending money to try to get the piggy bank working as well. We definitely did not get much stronger, but we should still be able to make it through this wave without giving up too much wave clear. Wave 7 will be pretty bad for us, though, because our damage is low. So that makes the healing enemies more impactful. When you're not one-shotting enemies, the healers are, of course, much more dangerous, because they're going to keep the enemies alive more easily. Really nice to be getting all of these crates as well, especially when we are not buying items. That means that our character is still progressing because we have the crates. I need to drop a consumable if I can. You can see that because I'm fairly weak, we just had to dodge around that walrus a lot, and that meant that we got a lot less in the way of materials dropped that wave. We only made about, like, I guess about 200, which for wave 7 isn't horrible, but that includes all of our harvesting. And if we had been making the character stronger, we'd have probably gotten another 100 materials that wave. That's part of why piggy bank can often backfire on a character, because you give up a lot of income in order to boost the piggy bank itself. And so it can end up actually costing you money. I'll take the max HP, we need to boost that, and then here I'm going to go one more wave, so we're going to buy this chopper just to make ourselves a little bit stronger, and then we're going to sit on 500 materials as we go into this next wave. Took that hit, but we have a tree, and we have +9 healing from our choppered fruits. Also, why are they calling this a chopper when it's clearly a cleaver? Riddle me that, Brotato devs. There's a word for this object, and it's not chopper. And why is it Cacti Club when there's only one of them? Oh, I thought we would kill that before taking the hit there, so I actually put myself in danger because I took that extra hit. These Cyclops worms are excellent. We needed % damage, so we're very happy to see those. I'm going to reroll here. I feel like we can get a level 2 upgrade. Yeah, we'll take 15 luck. So now we're making money off the piggy bank. We're also making a lot of money off of our harvesting. We'll take penguin and plant, and I'm going to roll here. I definitely don't want the knot. Honestly, we probably could buy it at this point and it would be fine, because the max HP is really good for chopper, but I just hate knot, so we're not going to buy it. Take the metal here. Weird Ghost, we have 8 regeneration, so I think I can get away with the Weird Ghost, and then I'm going to roll. And then I'm going to get a little greedy on the piggy bank and just lock all of these items, and we'll see if we can make even more piggy bank money. So we have some regeneration. We've got very high luck for this point in the game, so I felt pretty confident that we would drop a consumable, and then we could use that to heal back up from the Weird Ghost. And of course, every point of max HP we get, super important. This Cursed Slasher spawning, definitely a little bit dangerous to us, because our damage is so low, it takes us a really long time to kill something like that. And it does a lot of damage. I'm going to try to kill the eggs as much as I can, just to try to stay alive here. I need some more armor. Getting a crate there is awesome. More luck, more armor, more damage. All of these things are very important to this character. Wave 6 Cursed Crown is kind of unreal. See if we can get a little more curse there. All right, up to 1,000 materials on wave 9. That's great. Cauldron is awesome. Pickup range is very good with Chopper, of course, because we're reliant on fruits to heal back up. And the extra damage is going to be useful as well. I'll take another Weird Ghost. We're down to only 6 regeneration, but it's still going to be very helpful for this character to have more max HP. We'll buy more max HP there. And here we're just going to take some more attack speed. Upgrade our chopper. Baby Elephant is a way to kill enemies that doesn't involve hitting them with these somewhat terrible weapons, so I'm pretty happy to take that. Cursed Blood Donation. So this is an awesome find. We're incredibly happy to get the Cursed Blood Donation. We cannot buy it right now because we have Weird Ghost. So we're going to lock it rather than purchase it. But what I am going to do is just buy this chopper. That's going to give us a lot more wave clear. The level 4 chopper skills with 30% of our max HP. So it actually does a decent amount of damage. It also gives us an extra consumable heal. Notice that this is +2, whereas the level 2 chopper is only +1. That's not something that really matters that much, because when you have this much consumable heal anyways, the Going from getting 9 health to getting 10 health off the fruits is not that important, but it is still a nice little bonus. I'm going to roll once here to see if I can lock anything good. I'll lock a whistle, and then we're just going to save 750 materials for our piggy bank, I think. Incendiary turret. Actually, I'm going to lock the incendiary turret as well. We have a horde wave coming up next, so I want to ensure that our character... Oh, I need to not die to that anglerfish, okay. I want to ensure that we have AoE damage when we're going into the horde wave, because otherwise we actually can struggle to kill the horde. Having boosted our max HP a lot definitely helps. I would love to get some more regeneration to help with the cursed blood donation that we're about to get, because of course 1 damage per second is... you need at least 10 regen to fully offset that. So right now, we are actively losing health, at least until we heal up from picking up fruits. We want to get some armor and dodge and get to the point where we can just walk into these groups of enemies and then reliably spawn a consumable to heal back up to full. Jerky would be incredible as well, because it would mean that we'd be constantly gaining health, even if we pick up fruits when we're at full health. I'll take the landmines for 10, mostly because if we find fairy, this is a level 1 item that we don't have yet, and it can help do a little bit of extra damage in this next wave. And then I'm going to reroll here. I'm looking mostly for armor, but I'll still take 15 luck, because it's such a powerful healing stat for this character. Buy all of these, but not the injection. I don't want to lower my max HP. Metal, of course, is excellent. Here I'll take an alien tongue. Snail is interesting for this character as well. Old has enemy speed reductions, minus 25%. So that actually can slow the elites a lot if we get the snail. I will buy it, I think. We'll do one more reroll here. Obviously, the nuke launcher would be incredible, but this is a chopper run, so I'm not going to buy the nuke launcher. We're going to just use all of our awesome economy items and see if we can make things work. And then I'm going to save 800 materials with our piggy bank. Incendiary turret, even without any engineering, is a decent amount of AoE damage, so can be very helpful for a character like this that's relatively low damage to help you clear large groups of enemies. It's a little less helpful on wave 11 because there are the healing aliens. Okay, I need to be really careful here. You can see that we are pretty reliant on our consumable healing, of course. So whenever we have a fruit not spawn, we can get in trouble. Also, the blood donation does make things a lot harder because it means I'm frequently missing 1 HP. And so we're picking up the fruits even when we really don't need the healing because they're getting pulled to us. So the blood donation has an outsized impact on this character's healing as a result of that. That's part of why we really want jerky on this character, because it would mean even if that happens and the fruit gets pulled to us, we are still getting the full healing value of the consumable. I'll take 1 base damage on all my weapons here with the charcoal. I think that's fine. And then I've got to buy more armor. Our armor is just too low on this map. Let me re-roll this. More luck would be awesome, but I'm really looking for defensive stats at this point, and we'll take 9 max HP as well. Take the salt water. I'm kind of leaning into the snail thing as well, so we'll take Ugly Tooth. I definitely want more regeneration, even at the cost of luck. Scar is pretty nice. Every point of XP we get is worth both defensive stats, because defensive stats are much easier to find from levels than they are from items. But also, each level we get is just an HP, which gives us better choppers. I can't, I think, not buy Wheelbarrow here. We have the Cursed Crown, so every point of harvesting is just so good. And although it is lower marginal value because we have so much consumable healing, we're so reliant on consumable healing, and Weird Food's still so efficient, I'm going to buy it. But I am going to just save 1,000 materials here, and we're going to try to get maximum piggy bank value. I'm going to need to spend down my bank when we get to the first elite, because elites are super dangerous for this character, so we'll need to get pretty strong before the elite wave. So I want to get as much money out of it while I can as possible. You can see there the blood donation costing me a lot of potential healing because we're vacuuming in those fruits even though we're basically full health. So jerky would be an enormous boost to our survivability on this character. Probably, if you're just trying to absolutely maximize your win rate, you would consider not taking the cursed blood donation. But 73 harvesting, and we had the cursed crown already. I mean, you guys know me. I'm never gonna pass that. We made 750 materials on wave 12, which is awesome. Alien Eyes, we're very happy to take. We're scaling our max HP a lot, and of course, Alien Eyes is a way to kill more enemies. Turret we'll take as well. It's only 11 materials. I could actually take this 60 range upgrade. Crit chance is also not terrible for choppers. Choppers do have 2x critical damage, so and get a decent amount of base crit chance. So you can build around the critical items, i.e. Tentacle and Hunting Trophy, pretty easily with the choppers, even when we've reduced our crit chance. So I could take 7 crit chance, I could take 60 range, because we're a very short-ranged weapon, but we don't really need range on this tiny map. I could also start building dodge. I think all of those would be fine, but honestly, I just want to reroll for armor or regen or max HP, so I'm just going to do that. Decomposing Flesh, I will not take. It's just... the lifesteal would be pretty good, but losing max HP on this character, I just don't think you can afford to do. Reroll here. Spicy Sauce is awesome. Every consumable that we pick up is worth so much, so making them actually help us kill enemies is actually going to be huge. If we find Explosion Size, even better, but because the map is so tiny, this will cover a lot of the map. So here, we technically can buy Weird Ghost. We have slightly more, we have 11 regen, so we have slightly more HP than we are losing from the blood donation. However, I think I have to be a little scared on the Weird Ghost here. Wave 13 is going to be a pretty difficult wave for us, so we're going to pass. If I had even slightly more regen, I would take it, but as is, I think it's just a little too dangerous. Alien Baby is a lot of max HP. It does increase enemy health, which is a problem for us. I think I can still afford to do that. We're still not going to kill the elite, and this is the thing that it mostly impacts, is whether we can kill the elite or not. So the Alien Baby just gives us a lot more damage and more survivability. Then we can lock all these items, but I'm going to try to save 1150 here for our piggy bank and get just a huge amount of extra income off that. So one reason I should talk about this a little more, because I usually advise that you avoid piggy bank. This character can get away with it a little more easily because we had so much healing from our weapon. That meant that we could tank, even though we were giving up wave clear in order to save our income, save our materials to boost the piggy bank. We could tank a lot because we had all the bonus consumable healing from the choppers. So that gave us an opportunity to just save money for a couple waves without having a chance of dying, or with having a much lower chance of dying, because we had all those free defensive stats. On a normal character, you would need to kill enemies in order to survive, but this character, because we were using Chopper, actually let us survive without killing a lot of enemies on the waves where we were just saving money and not improving our character at all. I'm going to take the cog here, potentially, because we do have a decent amount of engineering, but losing 4% damage I think is still bad. We're going to recycle White Flag, of course. I'll take the turret, though. And then here, 15 more luck. That's just more consumable drops, which we definitely need. Garden, of course, is awesome for this character. We will upgrade our choppers. You will sometimes see the advice to upgrade your choppers to level 4, preferentially, to get the extra consumable healing. I don't think you should do that. You should just get the level 3 choppers so that they all do as much damage as possible. Sharp Bullet with our double turret is at least a little bit interesting. But I think losing 5% damage for a very marginal upgrade is just still not worth it. Very happy to see all these weapon upgrades, though. And I think what we're going to do is buy the level 2 chopper, I'm going to stay on 1,300 materials this wave, so I'm going to combine. I'll buy this level 1, but I will buy both Blood Leech and Whetstone. This is going to be a lot of extra healing. The lifesteal is not great, but it certainly gives us extra healing. And when you're always in melee and attacking, just having a little bit more in the way of healing is always going to be super valuable for the character, especially because we have this blood donation that is reducing our HP over time. So I need both regen and lifesteal. I need other alternate sources of healing. Even though we have our consumable healing from the choppers, the blood donation kind of turns that off unless we find jerky. So we need to get as much other healing as possible before we fight the elite in order to be able to survive it. I'm probably going to spend down to like 500 in the bank, depending on what we roll in the next couple shops, because I really need to get stronger before we fight these elites. Now, obviously, the blood donation doesn't entirely turn off the healing after we take a hit from an enemy. Picking up a consumable still heals us for a ton, but it's much worse at maintaining our HP because we have blood donation, so there's fewer fruit. We can't save up fruits on the field for when we take a hit, because we're constantly pulling them in. And because the map is smaller, it's harder for us to just move away from them. Losing 2 HP for 7 base damage, I think that's worth it. Our base damage is very low, or our percent damage is very low, so that will give us a bit more in the way of damage. And then we're going to take the helmet here. I'm going to pick up 9 more max HP, and then I have to take this movement speed. I've really been hoping for a movement speed upgrade. Minus 14 is just impossible to play against elites with, so getting these 2 move speed boosts were right on time. Very happy to see those. I will upgrade our choppers. I almost completely missed the level 1 chopper. I've probably passed a couple choppers because I just never look at this weapon. I'll still take the bag at this point. We'll combine and buy chopper here, and then we'll keep re-rolling. Ball and chain. Our weapons attack at 0.63 times a second, so the ball and chain, unfortunately, would reduce our attack speed. I think we don't want that, and I think we don't want anything else this shop. I'll keep upgrading my weapons. I could start building dodge, so I think I will just start buying dodge when we see it. Very happy to see this plant. That's a ton of regeneration. Capping my move speed at 0, I'm certainly not happy about, but 8 regen and the 80 range is relevant. I think we have to take the shackles. I really, truly dislike playing at 0 move speed. I think I would much rather have 10 or 20 move speed, but that's just too much regeneration to pass on. And we'll take the warrior helmet here as well. One more reroll to see if we can fix our movement speed or get anything a little bit stronger. And glass cannon at -1 armor for 40% damage I think is going to be good enough to take. I'm going to lock the sunken bell. I've actually been a little more impressed with this item. Sometimes it saves us, and it covers a huge portion of the map when you're playing the old, so I think the sunken bell is a little bit better. I believe that we will not be able to kill the elite. Our weapons, we have okay attack speed on our choppers, but we just don't hit that hard, and we're taking a lot of damage, so let's see. I'm going to test my damage against the elite. Of course, we get the hardest one. Okay, so actually, it looks like we are maybe going to be able to kill it, or at least I should try. I got a percent dodge there, by the way, with 2% dodge chance. You can see how hard it is to evade the elite attacks and why you need such high damage. So it's very lucky that we got a horde wave as our first boss wave on the old, especially because we were such an economy-focused run. Still can't believe we got Cursed Crown on wave 6. Now that I've got all of this regeneration, so we actually have fairly positive regeneration, the blood donation is no longer causing us to lose a lot of healing as much, because we're at full health more often, but we're still, as you can see, pulling in these fruits. Whenever we take a hit near one of them, and the blood donation triggers, we're going to lose that potential later healing. So again, we're on jerky watch. I'm going to recycle the coil. Night goggles is kind of interesting. Crit chance is still a lot of damage for this character. Losing 3 HP is bad, losing 1 armor is bad, but I think that we are at the point where our goal is actually to kill the elites, which I was not expecting for this character, but because we got such ridiculous economy items, we're wildly stronger than the old normally would be at this point. Poisonous Tonic for the same reason we're definitely going to grab, and then I'm just going to take 2 armor to try to stay alive. Take the Sunken Bell. I'll still buy Lemonade. Again, it can be fairly useful here. Triangle of Power with Blood Donation, obviously we don't want, but the Shady Potion and Corrupted Shard, I do want both of. However, I think we're going to use our piggy bank for 2 more waves, so I'm just going to lock these 2 items, and we'll hold on 1100 materials. This wave can be very, very challenging, wave 16, because it's all Stargazers, and if any mini-bosses spawn, they cover the entire map in projectiles, so your main goal on wave 16, and any wave where there are mini-bosses, is to clear the Stargazers as quickly as possible, and never let a mini-boss hatch, because they're just so dangerous. If you're a lower damage setup than we currently are, because obviously with our economy being just so juiced, we are able to, we have way more damage than you would normally expect at this point. If you're a lower damage setup on a more normal run, then it can be quite difficult to stop the mini-bosses from spawning, because the Stargazers have a lot of health, and even more health if they get buffed. So especially if we had rolled like a ranged weapon, and had to get through enemy health one at a time, that could be really challenging. And recycle White Flag, of course, and then 15 attack speed is perfect. We'll buy the lens. Any cursed item is worth buying. Even though this costs us a little piggy bank value, it's still very useful. As you can see, cursed items are pretty good for us. Take the Shady Potion here, and this is only 2% damage, but knockback is actually kind of interesting. We have 3... I guess we have 4 structures, including the landmines, and so knockback can help keep some of the weaker enemies away from us. So I'm going to buy the coil. This is a bit of a speculative buy. If we don't find more knockback, obviously it's not going to do anything. And then I'm going to just hold on this many materials with 1400 here. The gambling token will give us a bunch of dodge, so that can be good. I do need to boost my move speed. We're move speed capped at 0, but we currently have -5, so that's probably the biggest fix that we need for the character. That and just more regeneration and armor and dodge, as always on Abyssal Terrors. Number 1 item for us, still Jerky. Number 2 item, probably Fairy. Something like a giant belt that would make it faster for us to kill elites would be nice as well. Extra stomach, if we'd gotten that earlier, would have been awesome also, because that would have just been a lot of HP to scale our weapons and our alien eyes. More alien eyes, explosions eyes for our spicy sauce, and a second spicy sauce would also be very nice as well. That could give us a lot more wave clear. I'm curious how well the spicy sauce has performed. We'll check that in the shop if I remember. A dangerous bunny, sure. And then here... This is interesting. Armor's more important, but we're about to buy 16 dodge, so that actually gets us pretty close to dodge cap. So I'm going to take the 12 dodge upgrade here. Take the gambling token. We'll take the poisonous tonic. I'm going to roll here. I'll take the butterfly. I think a little more lifesteal is still going to be good. Explosion size, I talked about wanting this, so I will buy that. Ritual is worth 6% damage, but is very expensive. Sunglasses... I don't really want to lose armor. I'm going to roll past all those things. Terrified Onion is a way to increase my move speed, but at the cost of luck. But I still think we need that. Butterfly, I'm still just going to buy, I think. It might look a little weird to buy the butterfly and not the ritual, but just the total amount of money that we're spending to get the lifesteal, I think, is important. And percent damage is good for this character, but I really just want defensive stats before we go into these elite fights. I'll take the 2 curse here, and then we'll roll. Definitely do not want the torture. Another butterfly, sure. Let's roll again. I'll keep taking weird foods and stuff like that. We keep rolling these level 1 choppers, which we can't buy. We can't upgrade our choppers effectively with those. The blindfold, awesome. Crit chance is something that we're interested in, and obviously increasing our dodge is good. And I will take the alloy here, although it costs me 4 dodge. Gaining all of this crit chance is still pretty valuable, and the melee damage is fine. Banner, we're gonna pass on because I have the coil, so I don't want the banner. Not again, I'm gonna pass on, but I will roll here, and I'll just take a helmet. And with our rolls costing 66, I think we're just gonna hold on 650. So our damage should be good enough to kill this elite pretty quickly now, because I've increased my damage a lot in the last couple waves. And we were able to clear it very efficiently, which is good, because the wave 18 elite is quite hard on this map, because it's a wave with stargazers in it. And so when you have stargazers, especially if they can spawn cursed, like that one, and an elite in the same wave, that's just a lot of health to get through. It's especially dangerous for characters with ranged weapons. In general, by the way, ranged weapons take a hit on Abyssal Terrors, because they spawn extra projectiles from the pufferfish, and enemies just have more health, so it makes the fact that you need piercing or to kill enemies one at a time with your ranged weapons actually much more impactful than on Crash Zone. The cursed crown with our 500 harvesting is just unbelievable. Yeah, I'll take the mammoth here. 20 melee damage is great. The knockback, of course, gives us % damage, and the regen is really important. Here, I'm going to reroll. I'll just take 8% damage. That's fine. And then 20% attack speed is awesome. Attack speed is what we want the most at this point, because we're just trying to kill the elites and bosses as quickly as we can before they can overwhelm us with their damage. I'll take the night goggles here for the same reason, and then I'm going to reroll. Finally can upgrade our chopper. I'll take a broken mouth as well. Roll one more time. Medical turret I will lock, and metal plate I will lock, but we'll take one more piggy bank tick before we go to wave 19, and then in the next shop we're going to spend all our money, obviously. I do like that you can see the knockback is actually keeping these enemies off me, like the incendiary turret is just pushing them away. Because we've built a little bit of knockback. There's also a bunch of enemies that are extra susceptible to knockback on this map, like the goblin sharks take more knockback than standard enemies. So even small amounts of knockback are a little more relevant on Abyssal Terrors. Still not a stat that I would prioritize, but it can be fun and a little more impactful than it is on Crash Zone, which admittedly is almost none, the impact of knockback in a typical run, but it's still a little bit more interesting. I'll take the Shady Potion. Of course, we're still pretty reliant on consumable healing, and Schmoop is just more damage. Dynamite is great, because we have actually a lot of explosions. Then I'm going to re-roll here. We'll take 6 dodge, because we're getting closer to dodge cap. This actually lets us max out our choppers. That's kind of awesome. We'll take medical turret. Any healing we can get at this point is good. Grind's magical leaf earlier would have been awesome. Just incredible for this character, but of course we find it on the last wave where it doesn't do anything. Another metal plate I'm very happy with. The tentacle's actually going to be a lot of healing for us, so we'll buy that as well. Riposte, we actually have a decent amount of melee damage, and Cursed Riposte is a lot of damage. We have 40% dodge, so we can actually get pretty good value out of this. Do I want to spend 60 on 2 max HP? Oh, I should have bought the coupon, actually. I ignored it because it was in the last shop. But coupon, if you're going to spend more than 1,000 materials, will often be valuable. But now that I have bought the riposte already, I think a lot of our money is going to be spent on re-rolling, so the coupon won't pay for itself. Take the campfire. We'll take the butterfly. These are both kind of marginal, but just any healing that we can get is good. In a normal run, by the way, where you weren't constrained to using only one weapon, buying the blunderbuss here could actually be really helpful. It's only 113 damage, but compare that to the 165 of the chopper, and it fires 20 times as fast, because it's going to reset every single time you pick up a material. Blunderbuss would let you clear the bosses much more safely. It just does so much damage to elites and bosses. I'll take the lantern. Of course, this gives us 25% damage, and the range is actually pretty relevant as well. The pickup radius from the little frog could be good, but I think we'll pass on that. And then we're going to roll here. The second spicy sauce is awesome. The pumpkin doesn't do anything for us. Let's roll one more time. And barricade, we do have the coil, so the 3 knockback is worth 3 damage, but going down to minus 13 speed would just be ridiculous. Of course, again, first minigun would be very good if we were allowed to buy it. And then I will take the bat and the lemonade and reroll one more time. All right, I'm just going to check our economy items here. So we've made 2250 off the piggy bank, 300 harvesting off the cursed crown. So a bunch of really powerful upgrades as we go into the final wave. What was the other thing I was going to check? There was something I said I wanted to check and then, of course, immediately forgot, as is always the case. I don't even remember what it was now. Let's go to wave 20. So we should have very good damage at this point. I'm just going to stay near my medical turret and try to hit both bosses at once with our weapon attacks. Of course, with a melee weapon, hitting both bosses at once is possible and lets you clear them much faster. And there we go. We've killed the bosses and gotten our win with the old. Yeah, that was a really fun run. I do think that the old gets way harder on Abyssal Terrors, but when you get a wave 6 Cursed Crown and the piggy bank gets us 2250 materials, then things get a lot easier. So that was just awesome. Taking a look at our items here, obviously 2250 on the piggy bank, 384 on the Cursed Crown, giving us a total of 700 harvesting on wave 20. Cursed Metal, also an amazing find. Finding early cursed items is just so powerful. Cursed Crown not only gave us $1 bazillion this wave, it also gave us 3 curse, which meant that we found more powerful cursed items, like the blood donations and the medals and stuff, that much earlier. 27k damage on the baby elephant. Landmines actually dealt 3.3k, which is not bad, and 13.4k on the incendiary turret. So you can see why I like having these items around. The Ugly Tooth and Snail, I didn't really notice them having a huge impact, but they weren't bad. They definitely made it a little easier to dodge the elites. 24k on the Alien Eyes. Bag made 210, because Bag always overperforms. Only 10k damage on the Spicy Sauce, but that's because we didn't find explosion radius until much later on. What else? Anything else exciting here? The Sunken Bell never triggered, but it was still good insurance because it can just clear the entire map if you get hurt on the old. And Coil was giving us 23% damage, so it ended up being kind of efficient. And I think that's it. 11 HP recovered from the Tentacle, and 1200 damage from the Curse Riposte, even though we only had it for the last wave. So that actually did a decent amount of damage, even though it only triggered 3 times. Yeah, so obviously that was an awesome run. Hope that you enjoyed it. As always, of course, if you have, feel free to leave a comment and hit that like button. We are only 9 characters remaining until we have done every character with random weapons, and currently win streak undefeated. So let's see if we can close it out. As always, my friends, of course you can subscribe to my channel for more Brotato and other strategy game content. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.